Today we're blessed to have with us Captain Barclay with us.
Oh, good morning. Yeah. I'm blessed to be here, and thank you for inviting me today.
Well, hey, look, we figure we get the real information from the guy right here in front of us, which is always good. We're talking about misnomers or misinformation that people have and what have you, and I want to make sure that they get the right information. And one of the things I want to say about you guys is, and I say this a lot, is you're dealing with a lower staff right now. And so people have got to understand, especially now in the holidays, there's a lot of tension happening, things going on. So, have a little patience. You were talking about this in the parking lot at Costco.
People were vicious last week at Costco.
Just nasty.
Just nasty, like yelling and honking, like road rage in a parking lot. So I was just encouraging people to be kinder because it is the holiday season, but we are very blessed to have the best law enforcement. Really, we really do. I've been out here since 1999.
Nice.
And I've gone through several different, changes, the growth spurts that we've had, and I have to say that it has been a rocky road for law enforcement, and here we the residents barely see the difference when it comes to the day-to-day because you guys just manage it so well. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much. And a couple things. That Costco parking lot, everybody wants to save a nickel a gallon on gas, right? So it gets...
Not me.
And then let's be honest, what just happened? Thanksgiving, right? Our season of gratitude. People are stocking up wholesale on food, beans, greens, potatoes, yams, and... Costco, no better place, right? I was at Walmart the other day, and I got hit with the falling price, so I decided to stay there.
I do not need a 20-pound bag of greens. I'm sorry. I'll just go over to Albertsons to get away out of that parking lot.
No, I do a lot of the bulk shopping, but then again, it's on me. Why would I go the week of Thanksgiving? I can't complain too much about it if I decided to go on the busiest day. Yeah. And then, but you put your signal on to get into a parking spot, and you know that they saw you. You know that other cars saw you, and they pull into the parking spot before you can get in. That happened.
Well, you got to go, Harry, the parking ferry, and then every time you say that, it opens up right away. But no, something you said resonated with me is just be a little patient, and then have courteous.
Yeah.
There's a mutual respect, and we're so lucky to live in Santa Clarita, this metropolitan area where, the folks here overall are very supportive of law enforcement. And I want to let you know. That the staff really feels that. They feel the appreciation from the community. So thank you for that.
No, good. Seriously. And, the other thing is that, I'm on the school board. And
absolutely. Heart, right?
Every year or every other year, they talk about removing the SROs, which is the resource officers.
Yeah.
And I wish people would come and see when you guys are on campus. Because I joke, I said, this is like Santa Claus is there. They love these guys and women that show up in uniform. They're not afraid of them. Matter of fact, they feel safer with them on. There's a very small amount or small group, percentage of kids that are uncomfortable, but it's our job to teach them and let them know that you guys are not the enemy. You're there to help and protect and teach them, really.
Well, that discomfort, in my opinion, is a learned behavior. It wasn't something that there's nothing that the law enforcement here did to make them uncomfortable. It's something that they're hearing or seeing somewhere, probably online or maybe even at home, that makes them feel that way. But I'm there every time at the school board saying that that's ridiculous and they need to keep our resource officers.
The deputies there at the school, they provide such a great service. They really do. And they act as an encourager, a mentor, a coach. They provide security. And they're part of the community. Yep. And let's be honest, if you're a kid and you're worried about the deputy sheriff, what nefarious activity are you up to?
Right.
I'm with you.
They might be concerned with. Maybe a little marijuana on campus, vaping, any motorcycle you shouldn't have, little things like that, maybe a fight or after school. But the deputies can mitigate and try to encourage our youth to get on the right track. That's what it's about.
Well, I've asked our superintendent to get a hold of you and do they do a video every Friday. I don't know if you're aware of this. The district does. Our superintendent does, hey, what's good in education? What's going on in the Heart District? So I said, hey, would you do me a favor? Reach out to the captain, and maybe you guys could do a 5-minute segment on the e-bikes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that it's ignorance. It's not total defiance.
Sure.
What these kids are doing on the bikes and that kind of stuff. Can you just take like a minute or two? And what's the regulations behind the e-bikes?
Yeah, real quick. Thank you for asking. I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis.
Yeah.
I'll make it very easy so everybody can understand.
Please.
Okay, so there's class 1, 2, and 3 e-bicycles. Okay.
Really?
Then there's e-motorcycles. Okay. So class 1 is pedal assisted and goes up to 20 miles an hour. Class 2 is pedal assisted and throttle assisted and goes up to 20 miles an hour. Class 3 goes up to 28 miles per hour and is throttle assisted. Now, those are allowed on the paseos. This is a quick education. This is, some bullet points so everybody can have a takeaway real quick. Sure. And you said a minute, I'm going to honor that minute, right? Now, the issue is the e-motorcycles is the main issue, right? And these are things where kids are going 70 miles an hour on a $4,000 Sauron and they don't have their M1 license and they're basically on the road and doing a wheelie and it's unsafe. And, you don't have to ask the ER doctor to know that they can get injured very badly. Mm-hmm. So with the city and in collaboration with the Sheriff's Department, we're doing a prevention, education, and enforcement campaign. We're doing social media posts. And again, this is part of our education plan. And then we will enforce. We will tow. Okay. We will tow your e-motorcycle. Final thought, wrapping up, is that if you're on an e-bike, just have general courtesy on the paseos. Share the road, share the lane, and let's make it a safe place for everybody. Somebody pushing their stroller, a couple walking down, don't zip by them, and almost hit them. Have mutual respect. So.
And helmets?
Yes, under 18, got to have a helmet, right?
Okay, and what about the ones that go 65? Not just joking. I don't know how fast they go, but they seem to be like they're cranking.
Yeah, they are, and those are e-motorcycles. So you got to have your M1 license, you got to have registration. You obviously would have to have a helmet. And
so that one you need a license from the DMV, like an actual driver's license.
And registration.
Wow. Okay, and then all of the protective gear.
Well, essentially a helmet minimum.
Okay.
But we would encourage protective gear because the
pavement
dangerous. Is very unforgiving, Martha.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But you didn't come here to talk about all that. You came here to talk about these ugly toys. No, I'm just kidding. You came here to talk about the toy drive that the Sheriff's Department's doing.
Let's talk about it. And this is the season of generosity. And actually, other than Santa Clarita, the city of generosity is my favorite city, right? What's the capital of generosity? It's a donation. No, it's the opposite of that. Destination is donation, and the capital is generosity. Just like to start with something funny. But all jokes aside, this is an opportunity for the Sheriff's Department to collaborate with the community and really help those deprived kids that are socioeconomically deprived or maybe are suffering ailments, these type things, and to just try to bring a smile to those kids and then show them, much like at the school district, that their community cares.
Yeah. And, I agree. So where do they bring the gifts if they want? Do you have buckets around the place, or you have them in the Sheriff's
absolutely.
Department?
You're welcome to come to the station front lobby, and we'll have toy drop-off locations. And we actually just worked with the Santa Clarita Food Pantry. We did a food drive and a lot of turkeys and things to make it a little bit more comfortable for some families. So
the staff there is great. So when we have the LA fires, I got an entire warehouse of stuff and dropped it off at the sheriff's station, like multiple nights, like toiletry bags, and you guys took it to the different stations because it was all hands on deck when everyone was fighting the fires and helping the families and all that stuff. They're on top of it.
Yeah,
I didn't have to unload one box.
Hard, with the Eaton Palisades, Hughes and Hearst fire.
Yes.
I mean, these things were daunting. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And, so our first responders did a tremendous job. Couldn't be more happy with the staff, Office of Emergency Management, Board of Supervisors, the LA County Fire. I mean, and we're hitting it hard. So we actually, it's funny you mentioned that, the fires, because we just had a collaboration at the station with a training. Fire chief was there, Office of Emergency Management, and the deputies, literally the day before Thanksgiving, just discussing these strategies for shelter in place, evacuation, and warnings. And I know we're talking about toys, but there's a lot to talk about.
No, we want to talk to you about all this other stuff. I mean, we are so proud of you guys, and we want people to understand what you guys are actually doing. And I have to say, so I talk about it often. I have like this emergency group, and the comparison between response time here in Santa Clarita and anywhere in our surrounding areas is so different. The Castaic fires that have happened that get put out within a day, in comparison to the several days of damage that happened anywhere else, I mean, we're second to none, in my opinion, here in Santa Clarita with our law enforcement and our first responders.
Well, first off, thank you for the feedback. And, Castaic and near the lake has had no shortage of fires with the Hughes fire and then the Ridge Route fire. And luckily, knock on wood, we lost no structures. And it's just a testament to, the fire department working with us, getting the proper evacuations going. And we couldn't be more happy. So
I have a question for you.
Yes.
When someone refuses to evacuate, what can you do?
Well, here's the thing. We're going to get on body-worn camera, and they're going to tell us that we're refusing to evacuate, whether it's like, hey, I have my goats, I have my horses here, and I'm not leaving. And we're like, we'll advise them, hey, we may not be able to come back and render aid, but so look, you're refusing on camera, and then we'll document through our, we have a tracker, and it's all digital now, so it's just for documentation purposes. And we encourage you to evacuate. It's very hard, though. You know, a culmination of your life's work, and this is where you raised your children, and this is where your animals are, or your whatever it is, your saltwater fish tank, everything that's there, your family photos,
yes,
right. And you don't want to leave, and it's tough. And we saw that. We saw the videos. You know, people are very visual, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
we saw the videos even in the Palisades where people were not leaving their homes.
Right.
And I would just encourage you, whether it's a flash flood, or because we had torrential rains, right? We're not immune to those, or a fire, mudslide, these type things, that please use discretion, for your safety.
And the safety of everyone else. What irritates me about those people is you're taking time having to document and get something on camera when you could be on knocking on the next door getting those people out. So I find that a little bit frustrating. And I'm not the one that has to do it, but...
Well, and it goes against your grain. Everybody, you're out there to protect and save people. And I tell people all the time, think about something. These guys, it's not like you get paid $300,000 a year to do your job.
Well, that'd be a lot
I
of
only
overtime.
wish. Yeah. With a lot. But you're out there protecting people you don't even know.
Yeah.
And I say, what other stranger is going to show up at your door to protect you?
Full circle story. We just talked about the Costco parking lot, right? What was the word we emphasized? Was having patience. So we encourage the staff, hey, have patience with these folks, and it's a big decision, right? So one thing in law enforcement, it's a tremendous skill set that you have to learn, and it goes along with emotional intelligence, is just not taking things personally. Don't take it personally. If they're refusing to evacuate, okay, I'm doing my job. Tag my body worn camera, and we'll move on, and that's it. Even though it is frustrating.
I can't do it.
No, you could.
I cannot do it. I will put you over my shoulder and throw you in my car.
Yeah.
That person
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then
Sounds like a Nickelback song.
I would tranquilize them
A
and
hero
drag
can
them
save
in
us.
the
We're not going to stand here and wait, right?
So-
Am I the only one? Okay. All right.
So I hope that's your first present in the bucket.
Well, thank you very much. Is this a Labubu?
He knew what a Labubu was.
He knew what it was.
Well, I'm reading the box, but no, I do know what it is. One of our civilian staff has these, and it's cute. Her daughter's given to him, and it's.
I think it's scary looking. I think it should be against the law to hand that to a small child. It's so scary.
Well, do you mind if we open it up, or is this a collector's
it's
edition?
sealed, and
It's up to you.
Is it going to lose value? Or?
I have no idea.
Let's take a look at this and see what we're
You
working
have
with.
to open it up. There you go.
Okay, no choking hazards.
Look
I
at
have a
that.
1-year-old.
It's like potato chips, isn't it? There you go.
Okay,
Isn't that
everybody,
ugly?
check it out. Well, I'm going to give. Is this a gift for me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, or in Spanish?
Are you gonna only if you promise to hang it from your button on your shirt?
Okay, so I have a bold confession.
There we go.
I'm a great regifter.
So that's perfect.
You reach a certain level of, in your manhood or as an adult to where you want to give more, and I want to see the smile. We mentioned that giving to the kids. Like, don't get me any presents. Just I want to give presents.
Absolutely.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yes,
the other
sir.
thing I hope you don't stop doing is coffee with a cop. Because I go to those things and I watch people interact with you guys. I watched a young mom and a little guy and the young mom tell the kid go over and shake his hand and talk to him, and went over and I think that starts the relationship.
No, you're so right. And these coffee with the cops are tremendous.
Yeah, they're great.
I said tremendous again. It's one of my favorite adjectives. Describe it. But whether it's Starbucks or whether it's coffee with heroes or coffee with veterans or things, even at the station, we love to have a little bit of caffeine, 200 milligrams of caffeine. I got to be honest. Have you guys tried that sugar cookie drink from Starbucks?
No.
I refuse.
Well, typically it's one black coffee with 2 stevia, right? And that's my, I order that religiously, right? However, I made an exception, and I had it the other day, and I highly recommend it.
Do you really?
I'm not
Oh my God.
endorsing anything, okay? But I'm just giving
I
you a
can't
pro
eat
tip.
anything with sugar in the title. It's just like it's telling me exactly what it is. I'm like, if you want to drink this sugar cookie.
Maybe it was the double shot of espresso that was in there, but it was very good. So.
Well, listen, there are lots. You're right. There are a lot of people in this town that really love you guys and love what you do. And we saw in big numbers you guys come together when we had the incident at Saugus High School. So we know you care. We know you love us, and I hope you feel it from the community back.
Yeah.
It's that small number, but
So 2019, I remember that, and all the more reason why it's important to have the deputies in the high schools, right? Because we're not immune to that, right?
Ooh,
It's mental health.
Shoot it in my veins, yes.
Mental health affects everybody in all professions and all walks of life, right? So that happened in 2019. I was a young MET sergeant, mental evaluation team sergeant, and responded there. And the event was over before it happened. The kid attended, and unfortunately he took young Dominic and Gracie and. A very, very sad day. But I will be honest with you, it did affect the community. And as a mental evaluation team sergeant, we dealt with a lot of aftermath from that. But you know what? I wanted to reassure that the community is healing. And what it did is it brought more awareness and showed the need, for law enforcement services. And if you didn't have gratitude for the cops, there was a lot of cops that were off duty that were dropping their kids off, and they were actually the first ones.
I know a couple of them.
Circled right back around. Yeah, I talked to a few of them too. Circled right back around. Some of them feel like, man, if I just waited. Well, you couldn't have just waited because you couldn't have just known.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. This stuff happens in a matter of seconds.
The first one in was a retired deputy. His name is Dan Finn. Hi, Dan, if you're watching.
He was my high school resource officer.
What do you know? Look at that. We talked about full circle stories, right? Whether we're parking at Costco or, so.
Yeah.
And then, he was the first one in, and he dropped his kid off, and he went in off duty. And he would have made a play, for lack of a better term, if he had to. So shout out to Dan. And then there was another Glendale PD that was off duty that went in there. But not to segue. We're talking about toys and things, but it is important to talk about.
Well, it is to let people know. Look, we get calls all the time. When you do a lockdown or a soft lockdown at school,
sure.
I'll get called. My son's in there. I need you to get him out. And I go, no. The sheriff's department's handling this.
Yeah.
They know. They have a clue. They know what they're doing. You just wait. Try to relax. If you're a praying person, pray. Your child's fine.
The shelter in place is the hot ticket, whether it's a fire or whether lock the classroom, barricade the doors and things. It's the hot ticket. Let the response get there.
Yep. And trust. They got to trust you guys to do your job.
That's all part of 21st century policing is the trust and legitimacy. You know, and that's what we want. And that's what we aim for. And we're not always going to be perfect, but I wanted to assure you, as the captain of Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station, that we strive to have that trust with the community. So.
Well, I think, do we have to take a break?
Yeah, I know, right? They're going to be screaming at me. We went long, but...
we're going to take a break, and can we keep you for one more segment to ask a couple more questions?
Oh, cool.
Like how I asked them on live TV?
No playing with the toy during the break.
You're watching The Daily Buzz. I'm Martha.
I'm Joe.
And we'll be right back.
We
are back at the Daily... You are watching The Daily Buzz. I'm Martha.
I'm Joe.
And we're here with Captain Barclay from the Sheriff Station, giving us all kinds of information. So we're going to talk a little bit more about your toy drive in a minute, but I have a couple more questions.
Sure. Let's hear it.
So you said a couple things earlier that I was like, just shoot it in my veins. So number one is you said you talked about enforcement.
Sure.
I love that you have the law enforcement approach to law enforcement, because I know a lot of this whole curfew thing has been... it's been a rule of Santa Clarita for a long time, and it just wasn't being enforced. So now that you're doing enforcement of law, there's a lot of parents and people that are having some kind of meltdown about it. Some people appreciate it. I personally appreciate it. Can you tell us exactly what the curfew rules are, if you're accompanied with a parent, if you're leaving work, or if there's any exceptions to the 10 p.m. curfew for minors?
Yeah, very, very simple. And it just boils down to common sense. So 10 o'clock, it's a Santa Clarita ordinance. And after 10 o'clock, if you're under 18, you need to be chaperoned by a parent. It's very simple.
Right.
So an enforcement picked up, and anytime there's any enforcement, you're going to get kickback. I don't care if it's for e-bike, e-motorcycle, because guess what? The e-motorcycle that's towed, that parent paid money for that, and they want to get out of the impound. Now they got to pay money. And it's the same with curfew. Well, that's my kid. They're such a good kid, and I'm sure they are. But I just would encourage you as a parent to be with them at 10 o'clock. And the primary reason is for their safety. Because when we have 150 people congregating at a local business at the In-N-Out, and I use the word nefarious activity going on, alcohol, underage drinking, these type things. And there was an assault, a significant assault, which you saw with the bottle.
Yes.
And we have to prevent this.
Right.
It would be very alarming for me to have to report to you as a parent that your kid was assaulted or killed by a drunk driver or overdosed on fentanyl because it's going around the party, or tried ecstasy, or even something as a gateway as marijuana or vaping,
right,
or drinking alcohol. I mean, we don't need 17-year-olds drinking alcohol. Now, you talked about exclusionary clauses, right? So I've encouraged coaches, my staff, to, hey, look, if it's the kids in the football pads and they're in their band gear and stuff, it's discretion.
Right.
And it comes with common sense. That's what good policing is, and our deputies are doing a tremendous job with that. And yeah, we did an operation. Mm-hmm. We did. And we got a little bit of kickback, but that's to be expected.
Right.
But it's not just carte blanche, hey, I'm under 18, let me go hang out after 10. And you can't do that. So we need to find balance, in which we've worked diligently with the city on, and I think we're there. And at the end of the day, I think the message has been out there. And the Signal reported on it, KHTS reported on it, and we've talked at length at City Council, and I think folks kind of understand what they need to do. So, in summary, if you have a underage child, chaperone them at 10. Okay. Chaperone them, please.
I agree 100%. I agree, and I love it. I love the enforcement. You said it earlier, just like with school resource officers, how people want to remove them. I'm like, please keep them. It's so important to have them, to establish that relationship, and so that kids can see that you're not the bad guy, you're the good guy. Yeah. Deputy Finn at the time was the Valencia High School deputy. He helped me a ton.
Wow.
I ran into him much later at a corner bakery, and I actually walked up and paid for him and his partner's breakfast because I just wanted to say thank you. And this was like maybe 15, 20 years later.
Dan, were you accepting gratuity?
I didn't tell him that I did it.
That was very generous. I'm only
I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah. So about that, the enforcement, I'm for it. I think that parents need to be responsible for your own kids.
Yeah.
And quick question I'll end my questions with if my son has 3 friends over, can I still be the only parent with them at like In-N-Out or something? Can they just be one parent?
So that's a very fair question, right? It's reasonable adult supervision.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be the biological parent. Okay. But let's just say you're a sister.
Right.
And you're 21. And you're like, hey, this is my little brother. He's 17.
Right.
We just came from the Saugus High School game. Great game, by the way. We had a great time, and we want to grab an In-N-Out burger. Okay. We'll be with him.
Awesome. Perfect. That was the only one that I was unclear about how many adults, but okay, perfect.
I just wanted to reach out to the community. If your kid got a ticket and you were a parent of one of those kids, we're not saying you're a bad parent or anything. We're not. I just wanted to reassure you folks. There's some good folks, and there were some kids that got caught in the collateral enforcement. Of course. And I won't say we apologize. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, hey,
I love you.
Things happen. It's like a DUI checkpoint. It's not that it was, but it's, hey, you got caught up in the.
100%. Yeah.
I'm a purist in a lot of this stuff. It's kind of like, I agree with you. I told you, I've got police officers in my family, and it's common sense, okay? Yeah. You're just coming back from a football game. Maybe it went long. You're heading straight home, maybe even,
Yeah.
Don't give the officer a hard time. Say, look, the football game just ended. I got my own car, and I'm headed home,
not to sound cliche, but, this is... Your attitude determines your altitude. Yeah. It's how high you're going to go. It's not always... It's how you respond, right?
Right. I love it. I love everything you're talking about, everything you're doing. And there is going to be some backlash initially, especially because it wasn't being enforced. So when you start enforcing something, a lot of these parents didn't even know. Like, a lot of the growth that Santa Clarita has done has been over the last 10 years. And when it wasn't being enforced, then people didn't really know about it. So now you know. Watch your kids. You're responsible for your kids. It could be one parent to many kids, as long as they're being supervised. Yeah. Law enforcement's going to enforce the law.
That's it.
And we want to prevent. I believe that Santa Clarita is very much like Mayberry in my head, but we have a high number of overdoses, and we had there was several weeks where there was like gunshot activity at parties on the weekends. So if we can have you guys prevent that stuff by making sure that the young kids aren't out that late unsupervised, we want to help you with that. So thank you for that.
And the parents need the information. They need to get involved. I see it at the school district. You made a comment the other day we hear all the time, not my daughter. My daughter wouldn't do something like that. My son wouldn't do well. He's sitting in the jail cell because he did do something like that.
Right.
So just pay attention to your kids. Watch changes in their behavior. You've been at this a long time.
It's something that we spoke about. I was with Captain Dean of Narcotics in the Hart School District, hosted a fentanyl symposium with Quashen, Mr. Quashen with Action Rehab.
Yes.
So that was a great opportunity for us to connect with the last thing we want is one of these kids, and my perfect kid, and they, hey man, come over to this party or come out, in and out, and do this alprazolam. Well, what's that? It's Xanax. It's generic, and it's laced with fentanyl, right? And we can't. You got to check up on the kids early and often. Have those conversations, and then because if you just turn a blind eye, then it's too late, right?
And you have that here in Santa Clarita, the parents specifically. I mean, a lot of the mom group stuff like, oh, that doesn't happen here, that doesn't happen here. And I'm always the one like, hey, not only does it happen here, we were #1 in fentanyl deaths in 2023.
Interesting.
So I'm like, it happens here, and the fact that you say that is the problem. So we need to be more aware.
Community is immune, right? And there's 310,000 give or take people in the Santa Clarita area, and that includes the city and the unincorporated area, right? So that's a lot of folks, and a lot of things can happen.
Well, and now you can get it on Snapchat. It's like an Uber Eats for drugs. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy.
It is. Study those emojis. Make sure they know what they are.
You sparked a conversation that night. We're having active conversations with Carrie and the superintendent about opening up our facilities. We're coming up with a game plan. We'll reach out to the sheriff's department to make sure the kids are safe, but give them a place to go where we can kind of watch over them and keep them as safe, as we can. And let them blow off some steam without being at Lowe's and in and out and all that other stuff there. So we're hoping to.
I'm hitting that on multiple fronts in collaboration with the Hart School District, working with the city as well, and working with our Youth Activities League and the Sheriff's Department. And we're brainstorming ideas. So that's something that's important to me, particularly I wanted to emphasize at-risk youth. So where you have that kid, that's a latchkey kid because it's expensive to live and both parents have to work. And we're talking about the gap. What's the gap? It's okay. It's 3 o'clock to 7 p.m., maybe 6 p.m., right? That's the parents at work. They're caught in their commute time, right? The latchkey child. We want to make an impact to where they're not influenced by people that are trying to give them drugs or perhaps gang activity. And perhaps we can say, hey, look, check this out. You want to be a Sheriff's Explorer? Check out this workout program. Check out what the sheriffs are doing. Look at these young Marines. This is another activity, and it will get you on the right track. Or are you interested in any colleges? And then all of a sudden, the gears in their brains start turning. And then they're having the conversations with their parents. Their parents are like, wow, where do you get these ideas? Yeah. Well, I got a little bit of guidance. And guidance comes in many forms. It doesn't always come from the parent. It can come from...
Look at the toys again, though.
Let's talk about the toys. So, hey, guys, if you're going to bring the toys in the season of giving, right? And we discuss giving, and I personally love giving more than getting the gifts, right? Right. And I think you guys are on the same page. It's so rewarding.
You don't want them wrapped, right? You want them unwrapped.
No, bring them unwrapped so we can check them and then just drop them off in the front lobby. Very, very simple. We have a beautiful flagship station there, right there off Golden Valley, 26201 Golden Valley. Yeah. Stop by, okay? This is your sheriff station. This is your community. Bring the toys, and then let's make an impact.
Willingly stop by. Don't.
Where do you find?
You're funny. Right. Yeah, because if you were unwilling, you'd probably be.
You may not get the tour.
Yeah.
Where do you find the families or the kids, the at-risk kids that the toys go to? Where do you? Is it local? Is it outside the area?
Yeah, so we try to give them more locally, to the folks that are here, but. We're not immune to giving them out, just in general, to folks. Course. So to me, the important thing is finding families in need. Yeah. I don't care if they're in San Fernando. I don't care if they're in Antelope Valley, but we would like to help the kids here. Of course. But it's about identifying the individuals. So collaborating with local stakeholders and then identifying those needs and then getting it done, right?
We have a ton of nonprofits out here that I'm sure you get sources from. There's Single Mothers Outreach. There's Child and Family Center. That we can get a ton of families. Boys and Girls Club. Yep. Now, do you ever end up with more of one kind of toy than another kind, like more for girls, more for boys, younger, older? Is clothing, for teenage clothing something that you guys would want, or is it just toys?
No. We don't discriminate on giving, right? So just bring what you can. And, that one year, remember that Tickle Me Elmo that was like, it was sold out and on eBay and it was going for like $5,000. And I think the PS5, don't bring that. Just trying to lighten the mood a bit. But, the PS5, it goes wild. And the things that sell out, and just don't bring that. Just bring some toys that, that we can get to the kids and things. And I wanted to emphasize, again, friendly reminder, it's at the station, local drop box. You can't miss it. It's decorated very tastefully. Come on in.
So do we have to take another break?
Well, we got a few minutes with him. If you don't mind, we don't get to talk, the public doesn't really get to talk to you that much either. I'd love to know a little bit about you. Where did you
That's where I was going. Go ahead. Take it, Joe.
Good. Yeah, We were talking about the earlier segment, and there's a humanity brought, or there's a reality. You're just a guy out there, just like before you was Diaz, and he was doing some coaching, and he's shopping at the local store too.
Yeah, so I'll give you the real quick. It's not about my resume. But I just real quick. I lived in the Antelope Valley for 20 years.
Okay.
And I worked Lancaster, Palmdale, and Santa Clarita, and the mental evaluation team. So when I was a young deputy, I like to consider myself a hard charger. What does that mean? Somebody that's really out there trying to make a difference and bring people to jail that need to be taken to jail. So my passion was arresting people that were selling narcotics, guns, these type things.
Very good.
And then as I matured in my career, I found a different pathway, and I went to the mental evaluation team to where I could help folks that were in need. I became a crisis negotiator, and it just continued personal development. I went to Cal Lutheran University, did a negotiation mastery program at Harvard Business School, and then I did a grad school at University of San Diego. So in law enforcement and public safety leadership. So I've continued my personal development to try to be the best representation, not only for the Sheriff's Department, but for this community, and try to set the example for my staff as well. So my passion is community service, and I think I just wanted to share with you, I'm so happy about the trajectory of the Sheriff's Station right now, and the feedback from the community that we're getting. Crime is down overall, 19% on our Part 1 crimes.
And your staff is down, and your crime is down.
Yeah, but we're acutely aware of the issues that are going on in the city, so we'll do targeted enforcement, whether it's curfew, e-motorcycle, violent uptick in violence, or these type things. So, and a lot of this is because we collaborate with other entities within the Sheriff's Department. So if there's folks that are homeless, we'll call the host team, the homeless outreach team, and they'll help us to get them services. If there's mild uptick in gangs, we'll call Operation Safe Streets. Major crimes, they're out here making plays, So there's cops out here that you don't even know are out here, and it's just saturated. So rest assured, public safety is our priority.
It's one of the best things about Santa Clarita is the safety that we have here and the protection that we have here. And I'm telling you, the response time is insanely different from even like right next door outside of Santa Clarita. The response time is so insanely different, and the feedback that you get. I mean, the way that you guys just show up is so impressive, because there was a time frame where you guys were really understaffed. And still to be understaffed and to have crime down means like you know what you're doing. So if you could pick one of the things that made your career worth it, I'm sure you have many stories, that you came across, some that you weren't happy with the outcome, but some that you were just like, man, this is why I do what I do. Can you tell me one of those?
You just want to hear one story that made it all worth it?
I want to hear. I pick one, because I'm sure there's many.
All over again. Yeah.
I just want to see. There's. I couldn't do what you do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what you do, and I would have to have that thing that's worth that. Like, okay, you know what? It was worth it.
I would just give a global blanket statement. I mean, each day is so unique in law enforcement, and there's been the highs and the lows, and it's mostly highs. And I mean, but for me, just the one takeaway is, and this is a blanket statement, it's not one isolated incident.
Okay.
It's making somebody's worst day that they're experiencing in their life, whether it's mental health crisis, a family member overdosed, whether one of their family members was murdered, or whether they're a victim of domestic violence, just a little bit more manageable, and just being that voice or that resource for them to try to help manage it. And that's what makes it worth it for me. And that's a way to give back. We talked about giving toys, right? And you see the smile on your face, but when you can go back and assure people and give them resources and give them confidence. We talked about trust and legitimacy. And they're like, you know what, that sheriff, that deputy, he cared. He cared. And you can feel it. So people will forget what you said, Martha. They'll forget what you did, Joe, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
That is my favorite quote. It's all over my social media. It really is, because I'll forget your name, where I met you, and everything, unless you pissed me off or made me really happy.
At the Costco parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what she was wearing. I know what color her. I mean, I can tell you everything down to the detail if you made me really, really happy, or if you made me really, really mad. So thank you for all of the information that you gave us. Richard at the Signal.
Yes, sir.
Richard at the Signal is going to get a box in here so that all of the employees can bring a toy if they want to. If they want to. and we will get it over to the station for you.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, bring it over. It's the season of giving. And, I just wanted to personally express my gratitude to you and to our tremendous staff and to the city and all stakeholders. Thank you so much for letting me be your captain. And if you have any concerns, please let us know. We're not always going to be perfect, but we're open to feedback, and we care. We genuinely care. So please let us know.
Right? We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, God bless your guys. And I pray for all your guys daily.
Yes, sir.
I really do.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate what you do. All right, well, we've had a pleasure being with you today. We're going to go eat after this. Ooh. So I'm kind of in a rush to get out of here.
Got leftovers, I imagine?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I brought the Thanksgiving empanadas today.
She browbeat us into having a potluck day. Yeah, there you
go. How fun. So, well, kudos to you guys for coming in the day after Thanksgiving. We're here early. So.
I was stuffed, too.
You mentioned Coffee the Cop. I think we just had it.
I love those, by the way. All right, I'm Joe Messina, one of your hosts.
I'm Martha Aguilera.
And God bless you guys. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
You just saw a clip from the Daily Buzz.
If you want more of where that came from, visit buzzscv.com.